Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to study about the parts of the brain. How many regions the brain is divided into? The brain is broadly divided into three regions. And what are the three regions? The three regions are forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. So we are going to deal them all in detail. So first of all, we will start with forebrain. Okay? Forebrain is the thinking part of the brain. It is the thinking part of the brain. Okay? And it is divided into three parts. What are the three parts? This is first of all the largest part, that is cerebrum. Cerebrum. C-E-R-E-B-R-U-M. Cerebrum, olfactory lobes and diencephalon. Let us again repeat. Cerebrum, olfactory lobes and diencephalon. These are the three parts that forebrain is divided into. And you will be surprised to know that cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, and it is proportionately larger in human beings than any other organism. Okay? Why it is so? Because it is the thinking part of brain. Maximum thinking actions or activities, they take place in cerebrum. Whatever the mental or logical reasoning, all these type of activities are carried out by this part of the brain. So that's why we have cerebrum, the largest part. Of whole of the brain, almost 80% is made by cerebrum. Okay. Now, this cerebrum is the largest part, as I have told you right now. It is divided into four lobes. It is divided into four lobes. How many lobes? Four lobes. What are the four lobes? First is occipital lobe. Occipital lobe. Now, what is it meant for? It is the region for sight. Okay? Region for sight means it helps in seeing the things. Then, temporal lobe. What is it? Temporal lobe. What is the function of temporal lobe? It helps in hearing. Okay? So, all auditory related activities are sensed here, temporal lobe. Then comes the third one, frontal lobe. Frontal lobe is meant for speech, for speaking and all, higher mental activities like logical reasoning, thinking, memorizing. All these activities, they take place in this frontal lobe. Okay? And the last one is parietal lobe. What do we call it? Parietal lobe. And this region is associated with taste, that what kind of taste food has, then smell or aroma, or whatever the smell is in our surroundings, that is sensed by this part, that is parietal lobe. Touch. What kind of touch is there? This also helps in analyzing. Then conscious associations. What do you mean by conscious associations? The association areas which give the ability to register impressions and respond. Okay? Whatever the stimulus that we are getting, and we associate with it, that what kind of thing it was, by our past experiments. Okay? Whatever we had some experiences or we had experimented something, then we can relate it to. Like if we hear something, we hear some sound, so we can recognize on the basis of our past experiences that what kind of sound it was. Okay, we can associate. If we think about something, then we can associate on our previous experiences that we had with the particular thing. So this is how we discuss about occipital lobe, then temporal lobe, and frontal lobe and parietal lobe. So these are the four different parts of the forebrain's part, that is cerebrum. Okay, the largest part of the brain. Now, This cerebrum is the most important part of the brain, as this is the seat of what? Mental abilities, memory, reasoning, speech and consciousness. So if there is a question regarding what are the functions of the cerebrum, so you can write easily what are the functions of the cerebrum. So out of these you can mix and then you can write all the functions for cerebrum. Now next comes olfactory lobes. This olfactory lobe is located at the anterior part of the brain. Okay, so let me rub this. We can start with the olfactory lobes. Where is olfactory lobes located? It is located at the anterior, see, anterior, posterior, such type of anterior part of the brain. Okay, anterior part of the brain, and it is short, club shaped. It is short, club shaped in structure. Okay, now this olfactory lobe is responsible for what? As the name is suggesting, olfactory, what it suggests? It associates with the concern of smell. Okay, olfactory lobes help in smelling. Fine. So these olfactory nerves, they arise from the olfactory lobes and these help in smelling. Okay, so this is the main function, that it helps in having sense of smelling, we can say. Okay, so olfactory lobes, a very small part of the forebrain, and it helps in smelling, or it has sense of smelling. Okay, it senses the smell. Then comes diencephalon, the third part, that is diencephalon. Now what is the function of, or what is the structure and where it is located? Diencephalon, it lies on the inferior location. It lies on the inferior side of the cerebrum, and it is what basically associated with what? It controls. It has a part called hypothalamus. Okay, it has a part, diencephalon has a part, we call it hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus is the seat, or it controls what? It controls the center for hunger. Like when we are hungry, or thirst, fatigue, means when we are tired. Okay, it controls the center for hunger. It also associates with thirst, then fatigue, sleep, body temperature, okay, see how many things it is controlling, and it is lying on the inferior side of the cerebrum location, where it is located at the inferior side of cerebrum. And this we are talking about diencephalon. Hypothalamus is the part of diencephalon, and it controls center for hunger. It is the center for, it has control centers for hunger, control center for hunger, then it also controls thirst, fatigue, sleep, body temperature, sweating, and emotions. Okay, so very important part of the brain again. Okay, of which part? Forebrain. Now, it also helps in controlling the anterior lobe of pituitary. I am writing here. Controls what? It controls the secretion of what? Of neurohormones. Neurohormones of pituitary gland. So these are the various functions, and this is about forebrain. So how many parts of the forebrain are there? There are 3 parts: cerebrum, and then another one was diencephalon, and what was the another one? Olfactory lobes. So it is divided into 3 parts. Now let us come to the next part of the brain, that is midbrain. Okay, midbrain. What is the function or role of midbrain? What it does? The main part of the brain was only the first part, that was forebrain. Now midbrain, it connects forebrain to hindbrain. It connects forebrain to hindbrain. First thing means it is a connectivity between forebrain and hindbrain. Then what else? It also helps in the reflex, controlling the reflex movements. Okay, the reflex actions or the reflex movements that are being controlled by this part. And which part of the body the reflex movements are being controlled here? It controls the reflex movements of head, neck, okay, head, neck and trunk. Fine. In response to visual and auditory stimuli. In response to visual means which are visible, and visual and auditory means which are heard. Auditory stimuli. What does it mean? Like you heard some panicking sound, at once which part? Head, neck and your trunk, they responded to that stimuli. Some sort of scary situation arose, and you listen through the ears, and then the reflex action that is taking place. Or you have seen something, and at once these 3 parts, head, neck and trunk, they show some reflex movement. Okay, so it is controlled by it. Besides this, what else it controls? It also controls the eye muscles, okay, and changes the shape and size of the pupil, okay, as well as eyelids. So what else is the function? Reflex movements of what? Of eye muscles, okay. It also helps in changes in pupil dilates or constricts, as you have already read in the chapter of human eye, structure of eye, and shape of eyelids. Okay, so let us again recapitulate it. What are the functions of the midbrain? It connects forebrain and hindbrain. Okay, then it also controls the reflex movements of the head, neck and trunk in response to some auditory and visual stimuli. Okay, if we get any kind of visual or auditory means hearing, okay, that stimulus, then the reflex action of head, neck and trunk is controlled by it. Then it also controls the eye muscles, that is also reflex movement. Eye muscles changes in the size of pupil and shape of the eyelids. So this is about the midbrain. So if a question comes that what are the functions of midbrain, then you can write about it. Then comes the last part of this, that is hindbrain. Okay. What are the functions of hindbrain and where is it located? The hindbrain, it consists of three parts. Hindbrain consists of three parts. What are the three parts? First is cerebellum. Forebrain contains cerebrum. Last one contains, hindbrain contains cerebellum. Okay. It lies at the roof of the hindbrain. Okay. The upper part of the hindbrain. Then it controls what? Cerebellum controls what? It controls the coordination of body movements. Okay, the synchronized body movements and posture. Fine. What it does, cerebellum, it controls the coordination of the body movements as well as the posture. Then second part is called pons. Pons. What does pons do? They lie just above the medulla part of the hindbrain and regulates pons. They regulate respiration. It controls the respiratory system or the respiration of the human beings. Last one is medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. The third part of the hindbrain. Three parts. What are they? Cerebellum, pons and medulla oblongata. Now this lies at the floor of the hindbrain. Okay. And it continues into the spinal cord. Where it lies? Lower part of the floor of the hindbrain. Then it is continued into the spinal cord. Okay. Now what does it do? It controls the rate of heartbeat. Means involuntary action which is not controlled by our will. It controls what? It controls the rate of heartbeat, breathing movements, okay. Second one, breathing movements. See, there is a difference between regulate respiration and breathing movements. Breathing is the activity in which only muscles are acting. Okay, inhale or exhale. It is basically related to the movement of the diaphragm. Okay, so breathing movement is controlled by medulla. Okay, besides breathing movement, it also helps in expansion and contraction of blood vessels. So I am writing here. Expansion and contraction of blood vessels. Blood vessels, they contract, they expand. This is also done by medulla oblongata. Besides this, what else? It also regulates blood pressure, swallowing, coughing, sneezing and vomiting. So all sort of reflex actions we are talking about. So it also controls blood pressure, sneezing, coughing, okay, sneezing, coughing, or swallowing, etc., or vomiting. Swallowing, when you swallow the things. So which part of the brain is working? It is hindbrain, and in hindbrain also medulla oblongata, or vomiting. So these are the actions which are controlled by hindbrain. Let us again see. Hindbrain, it is of it is made up of three parts: cerebellum, pons, and medulla oblongata. Now what is the function of cerebellum? It helps in the coordination of body movements and posture. For example, like you are sitting on the chair and you become lethargic and you sulk in your chair. So after some time you will realize that I am not sitting in a proper manner, so I have to maintain my posture. So which part is guiding? That is cerebellum. Or like you are moving in the line, when you are being asked to move in a line and suddenly you break the line and you are out of the line without any thinking, okay, without it's not a conscious effort, but suddenly you realize that, oh, I have broken the line, I am not in line. You again start moving in line. So which part is guiding you? That is cerebellum. Then comes pons. Pons has very important function, that is it regulates respiration. Okay. Then third one is medulla oblongata. What are the functions of medulla oblongata? It helps in controlling the rate of heartbeat, and then breathing movements, and then expansion and contraction of the blood vessels, and the last thing that it controls is blood pressure, sneezing, coughing, okay, swallowing, vomiting, etc. So I hope the parts of the brain and their functions, they are clear to you. So what you need to do in this, after watching this video, that you need to write down the short notes on various parts of the brain and write their important functions. So out of this topic, it is very much important, and it is necessary that some question regarding the function of any part of brain can be asked. So you need to pen it down and write down short notes on various parts, all three parts of the brain, that is forebrain, hindbrain, and midbrain, and what are their functions and what are they further divided into. Okay, how many types of parts they are divided into.